one of the most greatest and sudden storms has just been experienced here, with results both strange and unique. The Russian schooner, the Demeter, came crashing through the storm and crashed into Whitby's east cliff. Lashed to the helm was a corpse. Its head was drooping to and fro with the motion of the ship. No other soul was seen on board. Strangest of all, an immense dog leapt from the ship onto the sand, bounded up towards the 199 steps and disappeared into the darkness of the graveyard. The ship was said to contain a number of wooden boxes filled with earth. Evil has come to Whitby. Death walks in the shadow. And this small harbour town will never be the same. Hi everybody, Matt and
Danielle,
back with you. Have you missed us? Of course you have. Look at where we are today. Looks familiar, doesn't it? We are in Whitby. In the 1890s, the author Bram Stoker spent some time here after doing a tour of Scotland. He was currently writing a novel about a vampire, but he was getting stuck with certain things, so he stopped here in Whitby to think about what could happen next in the novel. On the sea here, on the beach, there was a shipwreck, and he saw it, and things started to go over in his mind. That novel turned into one of the most famous horror novels of all time. Today, we're following in the footsteps of Dracula. Bram Stoker stayed in Whitby for the first few years of the 1890s after finishing the theatrical tour of Scotland. He was writing a vampire tale and used his time in Whitby to research and plan. Whilst here, he studied in the library and came across the true historical figure of Vlad the Impaler. 15th century Vlad was called Dracula, another name for devil. Vlad had impaled thousands of his enemies in battle, and had once sat amongst the corpses, dripping his bread in their blood and eating. So it was not long until Stoker's novel became known as Dracula. So this is Royal Crescent, and this is where Bram Stoker stopped when he was stopping in Whitby. And if you can hear us at all, it stopped at number 6. So it stopped here, number 6, officially called at the time Mrs. Veazey's guest house. But there is a blue plaque. Bram Stoker, author of Dracula, stayed here 1890 to 1896, so he was here for 6 years. We're going to get our own Dracula adventure underway at the Dracula Experience. Have you ever seen the Gary Oldman film?
Welcome, foolish mortals. And now,
Where are you?
much of the Dracula story takes place here in Whitby. But first, Transylvania.
It's not going to do it now, is it? Something's going to jump out here.
Prisoner by the hypnotic dangerous female vampires. The crew are all dead, including the captain, who with his Dracula leaps from the ship and up the 199 steps to the graveyard near the ruin by suicide. To bring her back using a new technique, a blood transfusion. To no avail. Lucy retires to her coffin. Dracula is now pursued relentlessly by Van Helsing, Jonathan Harker, Quincy, and friends. Lucy's friends and Dr. Van Helsing try desperately to bring her back using a new technique. Lucy retired.
Oh, there she is.
Dracula is now pursued relentlessly by Van Helsing, Jonathan Harker, Quincy, and friends.
So we're walking over the pier, and there's some big cracks in the floor. Daddy, I'll go. I think she's going to fall through. I might just drop my phone through. If I drop my phone, would you go through and get it for me? So here we are on Tate Hill Sands, and there's a famous photograph of the SS Demeter, a Russian schooner, there on the beach, 1890-ish, and it was that ship that Bram Stoker saw when he was here in Whitby, possibly from on the cliffs behind us. That made him think about the ship bringing Dracula from Transylvania. The ship came through on a storm, through the gap over there, through the gap here, came down, crashed onto the beach. Tied to the ship of what is now called the SS Demeter was the captain. He'd been dead for 2 days, his neck was broken, and it was swaying side to side. What was also seen was a black dog leap off the ship, run up the 199 steps that you could just see disappear into the darkness of St. Mary's churchyard. All that. Amazing. This is the route. Dracula took in hound form, known as the Barghest Hound. Run up the steps here, turn right, and head towards the 199. Anyway, bottom of the 199 steps, also known as Jacob's Ladder. So, we're not going to count them, but look at this one here. They did count up to number 10. Maybe they couldn't count past that. We are climbing Jacob's Ladder.
33, 34.
Oh, sorry. So what number step are you on?
46?
46. Good counting. St. Mary's Church is just there, but you can see how the cliff cuts off here. Right above it is the graveyard. 2012, there was actually a landslide and a good chunk of that land fell down. It took with it graves and it took with it bodies. And at the bottom of the cliff they found numerous bones from different bodies. It does mean, unfortunately, over time that land is going to get further and further back with erosion. How long will the graveyard survive? Why are you counting? It tells you on the step. 50. What number are you on?
47.
47.
No, 46.
48, 49, 50.
Oh. That's okay.
Perfect.
I can't count.
Let's go. Obviously Mina had seen Lucy in the graveyard from the opposite hillside, so she ran down across the bridge that was there at the time and up to the graveyard, up the steps, running up the steps. Something like that.
Steps.
Yeah, we're running up the steps. And we've obviously fibbed because every 10th does have a number on it, which is a real surprise. I thought they were just up to number 10.
LXXX.
80. What a view. What a view. That's good. These lovely benches, which you think are just here for you to have a sit down and a rest on, are not quite what they seem. So, these are coffin benches. So, when people were being buried in St. Mary's churchyard, when people had died in Whitby, they would carry them in the coffin up these steps. Now, we're about halfway up. It's exhausting. You do need to rest every so often. So, they would put the coffin on the bench
and have a breather. Or picking it up and carrying on. And that's why you can see it every now and again. Now, we don't have to count anymore because the numbers continue. Or it's pretty good if you know what Roman numerals are. He's very windy, so I don't know if you hear me. It's not his voiceover, sorry. In the novel, we meet Mr. Swales, an old man here, and he tells Mina and Lucy that he can sense some great evil coming to Whitby. And when Bram Stoker wrote the novel, he walked through this graveyard and he took note of some of the names that are in here. Swales is the obvious one. It's a bit warm now. Obviously, a lot of these gravestones are very warm. This is Mr. Swales.
Just look how some of these stones have eroded. And this one. Amazing. So too late for the church today, but we're still here tomorrow, so we may well come back. I like the fact there is a sign inside here. Do not ask staff where Dracula's grave is. There isn't one. It's Bram Stoker's novel. However, occasionally people have decided which grave is Dracula's, which it isn't. We'll point that out. Definitely isn't. But let's see if we can figure out which one it might be. Some of the guides say, "Oh, hello, hello, Danielle's here. She's great."
So for the sake of argument, we're going to say this is the bench. It's not. This is the bench that Lucy was sat on when Mina saw her from right over there, and in the moonlight, saw these red eyes. Mina sat on the bench, so she ran. No, Lucy sat on the bench. Mina ran across and down, up the steps, and as she saw the bench, she could see Lucy kind of reclining on the bench, and behind her, this figure. She called out in fright, "Lucy, Lucy!" It was the figure, though, that stirred and looked straight at Mina. That was Vlad Dracula.
A scene in the novel features Mina here, somewhere on this hillside, looking across to the churchyard. It's dark, but the moon is shining on the church. She sees her friend Lucy on a bench. As the cloud passes, she also sees that Lucy is not alone. So this is the historic Whitby Pavilion. But Danielle, what happened here?
We filmed Nandar photo on the Talking Mongoose
Excellent.
with Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg
Yeah,
from Hot Fuzz.
indeed.
That was filmed here.
Sections of it, yeah.
Yeah?
The scenes with the magicians.
Wow. And that is on Amazon Prime.
It is.
Wow. So if you want to do a film location guide, here we are. Simon Pegg was here. But other than that, what do we know about this place?
This is the oldest working cinema in the UK.
Wow.
All the rest are shut down.
1878. And still in use as a cinema. Amazing. It's now night time in Whitby, and it's very different as it was during the day. There's nobody about at all. All the amusement arcades, everything is just closed. Is it because everybody here knows that this time of night there be vampires?
Not so Funland now.
Funland
Yeah.
closed. Amusement closed. Happy Shake closed.
That's a happy show.
Fudge Bar closed.
Pleasureland.
Closed. Right. So, up here somewhere is where Bram Stoker sat and looked across at Whitby and saw the wreck of the Demeter down there on the beach where somebody's having a little fire. So we should be able to spot a Bram Stoker tribute. Here it is. The view from this spot inspired Bram Stoker to use Whitby as the setting of his world-famous novel Dracula. This has been here since 1980. Mark the 68th random anniversary of Stoker's death. Right, so we are now stood where the SS Demeter crashed, and got me thinking, we haven't yet talked about Dracula properly, because of course people still make films about Dracula today. Now, I think my first experience of Dracula was a Christopher Lee Hammer horror, I'm fairly sure, but we're gonna do a quiz now. It's a game of Mallet's Mallet. So we pass it back and forth until we run out of Draculas. So I've started with Christopher Lee.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, okay. Gary Oldman.
Ooh. You might not have the knowledge of this. It's not going to be a long game.
Try Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi.
Oh, fabulous. Yeah. Oh no, I can't think of anyone else. I had Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Luke Evans.
Okay.
Luke Evans.
Any more?
Right. Tell us your favourite Count Dracula in film. Put it below. And I'm sure you know more than we do.
There's not a soul out there, no one to hear my prayer. Give me a man at midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a man at midnight. Take me through the darkness till the break of the day. Give me a man at midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a man at midnight. Take me through the darkness till the break of the
Wild behind us. this one says for strangers only. In this one. Go on. Okay, so now we have arrived at the Abbey, which is an 11th century Benedictine abbey where monks would have lived, and it's been there. The abbey is, in its current form, is 11th century. I think we've just read somewhere it actually is more likely to have started in the 7th century, so we're going back a long way in time. But yeah, you can probably hear that wind. We're inside. It is very, very windy, so I may not speak to you again. This is just going to be a nice musical trip through the Abbey. These, but it's funny this one's full of water because I actually thought, well, maybe the little map. You can see from the shape. Guessing due to the fact it's with style something like that. Okay, so there we go. That is our look around the historic and Gothic harbour town of Whitby, following in Bram Stoker and Dracula's footsteps. It's been fascinating. I specifically like that beach where the ship would have been. We've been up those steps many times. So until next time, you'll see me very soon. We'll see Danielle probably for the next road trip. We have places to go very soon, including out to sea to look at shipwrecks and sea forts, and we may even soon be visiting a cannibal's cave. Wow. We'll see you next time. Take care.
See ya.
Bye. This is Argument's Yard.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.